I went to Baltimore to visit the Baltimore Streetcar Museum for its $25 day open house. Here's how that day went. I took the 4 a.m. PATCO train to Philly. I had missed the best ticket prices for Amtrak, so I planned to take a Greyhound. Then I procrastinated long enough that an Amtrak ticket was about the same price, though only for an earlier train. Since SEPTA shuts down the subways from about midnight to 5 a.m. on weekdays, I took the Market-Frankford OWL bus to 30th Street Station. As a side note, New Jersey Transit doesn't run an Atlantic City train to 30th Street that early. I had a bit of time to wait for my Northeast Regional train, so I admired the art and architecture. The Amtrak ride down to Baltimore was quick and comfortable. I was so early that the Dunkin' in Penn Station wasn't even open, so I took the Baltimore Streetcar down to Camden Yards. It's quite pleasant to watch the sunrise here, as long as you don't mind the noise of a 6-lane highway terminus. At least they named it after Cal Ripken. I took the light rail link back north. For the PATCO users, you might recognize the announcement bell on their refurbished cars. Can you tell that Alstom did both refurbs? I still had a bunch of time to kill, so I saw some more artwork and found a Dunkin'. Their sugar cookie latte was pretty decent. Also, a pro tip, show up early if you'd like to sign up for a driving slot. Those fill up quickly. First up, I got to ride and drive car 2168, a former SEPTA PCC car restored by the Friends of Philadelphia Trolleys, which these events helped to fund. This car saw service until the mid-90s, and it comes complete with period maps and advertisements. Next, it was my turn to drive. It was such a fun experience and made the long day worth it. Special thanks to our operator, Harry. Also thanks to Terrence for filming me. He was there with his son, who had his own scale model PCC toy. Side note, there was another family whose son was wearing a SEPTA PCC costume made out of cardboard. Great work! Also back in March of 2019, a CSX train derailed and fell from the bridge above, landing on this shed. Thankfully, no one was injured and CSX helped fund the rebuild. As a long-standing policy reaffirmed by the incident, the museum trips halt when the freight line is running above, which can cause delays, as it unfortunately did on this day. After some delays, I had the chance to operate cars 554 and 1164, which formerly ran on different services in Baltimore, as did this one, 4533. I also rode this behemoth, C145, which operated as a snow sweeper in Philly for almost 50 years. Car 417 is probably my favorite, and not just because of this ad. It began as a horse cart, was converted to a cable car, and finally became a streetcar. It is amazingly restored and is likely one of the oldest remaining cars in operable condition in the world. I was beginning to get pretty tired, so I decided to head back to Penn Station. On the way, I stopped at a Starbucks. Their sugar cookie latte was far superior to Dunkin', though the grab-and-go sandwich was pretty disappointing. The ride back started well, but shortly after we stopped for a while with minimal updates to rescue a broken down train with a full load of passengers. We ended up pulling into 30th Street over an hour and a half late. Not considering that the New Jersey Transit Atlantic City schedule was actually convenient for once, I ran for the Market-Frankford and caught a PATCO train back to Lindenwold, arriving about 1 minute behind the Atlantic City line. But one thing that made it all worth it, I saw the Elmo drumline on the L. So as I headed back across the Ben Franklin Bridge, I had time to reflect on the trip. The journey was long, strange, and unique, but it was certainly an interesting day. The destination was also quite an experience, and I would encourage anyone even vaguely interested to make the visit at least once. Follow the Friends of Philadelphia Trolleys Facebook page for the next one. Just consider driving there if you have the means. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, consider liking and subscribing for more silly videos about transit and food.